This is Majinone, and here's my reviews for Cable and X-Force 1, Avengers Arena 1, and Amazing Spider-Man number 699.1. Now, I'm going to try to be brief with Amazing Spider-Man. Basically, this is the introduction to Morbius, so this way they're going to do their... In case you didn't know who this character was, because he's kind of like a C-level character, let's put him in a .1 issue, so that way maybe you'll buy the book. And I think this is actually a really good use for .1. Even though they do tease us a little bit of giving us a little bit of the ending of what happened to 699, it goes straight into who Morbius is, and as you can see, the artwork changes, which is actually, I think, works better for this side of the story, because it's not as superhero-y. While I enjoyed it, I think for the most part it's going to be hit and miss for some people. I mean, I'm familiar with Morbius, and I kind of like the character, but he's like one of those types of characters that, you know, it's like I really don't look forward to seeing, because he's like a costume vampire, you know. But they give you a little bit of background, show that he's been involved in Spider-Man's past before, and I mean it's a decent read. But if you don't plan on buying Morbius, then you can probably skip this one. Okay, Avengers Arena number 1. I wasn't planning on buying this book at all, but I figured, what the heck, let's buy it, just to see what it's like. Now, just so you know how dysfunctional my store is sometimes, Cable and X-Force sold out, but there's a stack of this book. This book should have been sold out because they only ordered 3 or 4, and this is the one that they should have ordered a lot more on. But anyways, let's take a look at what's going on here. Now, I think part of the reason why I bought it was because the pages that they released early with Hazmat and X-23 fighting, and oh, I just loved all this part. X-23's flesh and, you know, just melting off. I was like, sign me up for it. Now, I'm going to give you a spoiler here, because unlike the Batman video, I felt that you guys need to see what you're getting into before you buy this. Remember, Marvel was going, you know, heroes are going to kill heroes. And, you know, I was very, very, I didn't believe it. I thought that there's a catch here, because there's no way Marvel is going to put their future, you know, meaning they have runaway characters, they have Avenger Academy characters, like there's Darkhawk, X-23. There is no way they're going to kill these characters off. Impossible. Because keep in mind, the concept is basically Battle Royal. Throw them on an island, and 30 days later, one survives. And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that really did happen. You know, granted, these are emerging characters that most of them probably won't get very far, but the fact of the matter is people would freak out. Fans would freak out that you actually killed it, and the sad thing is people probably wouldn't buy the book until it was too late, and then they'd buy the trade. And then the second thing is, Arcade would be the most wanted man ever, and he would be tracked down by every single superhero and brutally beaten. So let's get on to what's going on here. This is my theory. Now, Arcade basically captures everybody, and he puts them into some sort of sleep state, changes their costumes, and he's created his island with different zones, and he wakes them up. Now, everybody who knows who Arcade is, you know, understands his power level. You know, so for those of you who don't know, he's a human. No special abilities, no special powers. All he can do is create death traps. That's his thing. So, here we see him coming out of lava in a ball, energy ball. Okay, maybe this is all part of a death trap scenario. Then we see Arcade basically beating the crap out of all the superheroes using special abilities that he doesn't have. You know, there is no way he could basically stop Hazmat's radiation. It's impossible. He doesn't have this kind of ability. Now, you can probably argue the fact, well, maybe he was a force field, but look at what he does, you know, through all these other panels. It's impossible. He basically is acting like he's got an infinity gauntlet and it's invisible on his hand. And this is not possible. Now, even some people might go, well, you know what, Machinone, I think you're being too hard on the situation. Obviously, Arcade, he's created this death trap, so this is all smoke and mirrors. And this is what you're probably thinking. Well, here's the big spoil. Basically, what he does is he goes, I'm going to start off this killing spree, and who's the weakest link? Come forward and I kill you. Well, what's his name? Metal comes up, and he goes, he's the weakest link because he didn't want Hazmat to get killed, and Arcade, on a whim, blows him up. Arcade can't do that. He has no device that would allow him to do that. So, you know what my theory is? He kidnapped them, and they are all in some sort of virtual reality world. Because think about it this way, okay? You have Arcade, think of old Arcade, and they make reference to this. There's a very classic story where he meets the X-Men, and he creates a pinball deathmatch machine. Not deathmatch, but a pinball death machine. So when that issue came out, pinball was probably really popular, you know, for a video game. And it would make sense because here you have it's kind of like it's humorous to a certain degree, and it's a video game. He treats it like a game, and I'm sorry, not a video game, but it's a you know, like an electronic game, and he's treating the death matches as a game. He throws them in there, and insanity ensues. Well, today, obviously, we don't have pinball. We don't have arcades any longer, for the most part. But what we have? We do have video games. And off of video games, what's the next step? It's virtual reality. So I think what he did was he captured these heroes, he put them into a virtual reality world, and he can kill these people over and over and over again. And he can keep doing that as long as their body holds out. Technically, body and mind holds out. So I believe that's what's going on. And because there's just no way, there is absolutely no way Metal got killed like that, and there's no way they're going to allow X-23 to kill Hazmat like that. And the way it looks like, it doesn't even look like X-23 is going to come out of that alive, even with her healing ability. So that's my theory, and I really doubt I'm going to get any other ones from this. I think what I'm going to do is when I go to the comic store, I'm just going to go, and that's about it. Okay. That was a mouthful. So, Cable and X-Force. This is basically your setup story. If you remember in the pages that were released, you have these pages right here where basically the Avengers come to capture X-Force, and Havok's like, hey, well, you better explain yourself, Cable. There's a lot of dead people here. And Cable goes, can't explain it, and he shoots and leaves. And now we go back into time, and then basically what it's doing is it's setting up Cable searching for his team. And, you know, he's basically going, you know, Domino, Forge, and Dr. Nemesis, and Hope is in this. He doesn't have Colossus yet. Now, apparently Cable's still having issues, and he's sick, he's got a new arm, and insanity is going to ensue. Now, I do like the artwork, but, I mean, it looks like they really did put a lot of effort into trying to push this book as a top-tier book. But I think, even though while I like a lot of the art, I think there's a lot of problems at the same time. And mostly the problems I have are just with the way that some of the characters are positioned, and it's basically panel layout. But other than that, I think that this was an entertaining read. In no way, shape, or form is this going to be a top-tier X title, but I'm hoping that it's going to find a nice little comfortable place and then just tell an interesting story. If it can tell that, I'll be happy, and I'll continue buying it. But anyways, that's my review for these 3 books. I'll try to get some more reviews out. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video. Oh, almost forgot something, didn't I? Let's get you this code. See, that 1 or 2 people that waited to the very end are probably really happy now that they get the code. Anyways, if you have any other comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. Like the Facebook link over here, because I give out comics, and I'll have more reviews later. So, until next time.